If you've been thinking, could I actually make a living building Squarespace websites? This video is for you. I'm Christy Price, and I've been a web designer for over 20 years. These days, I run a profitable Squarespace design studio, mentor other designers, and teach the business side of web design. But I did not start out with a perfect portfolio or a huge audience. I started small, learned as I went, and built something sustainable. Today, I'm walking you through how to become a Squarespace designer in 2025, especially if you're just starting out. Whether you're pivoting careers or looking to freelance on the side, I'll share the steps I took and what I recommend now that I've helped other designers get their start. Before we get into the how, let's talk about the why. Why choose Squarespace over other platforms? It's powerful, but it's user-friendly. You can make really gorgeous websites fast. Clients love it, and they can actually use it without calling you every 5 minutes. You get to focus on design and strategy, not tech headaches, because Squarespace handles all the back-end updates for you. Squarespace is like building with guardrails. It gives you structure, but you still have plenty of room to get creative and build what you want. Plus, Squarespace has built-in SEO, e-commerce, blogs, and you can even offer memberships or courses on your website. So when you hand a site off to a client, they have everything they need to succeed without having to change platforms midstream. So what skills do you actually need to be a Squarespace web designer? Well, you don't need a degree in web design. Here's what does matter. First, you need to understand design fundamentals, layouts, typography, color, accessibility, or you're willing to learn. You need to have the tech basics covered. You can add light CSS or even just copy and paste custom code. You understand SEO best practices, and you know how to optimize images, or you're willing to learn. And you can handle client management, providing clear communication, good boundaries, and solid processes, or yeah, you guessed it, you're willing to learn. And this might surprise you, but soft skills like listening, project management, and delivering a calm, confident experience, that's what keeps clients coming back and also helps them refer you to others. And if you mentally checked willing to learn on any of those, I'll drop some resources in the description below to help get you started. One question I hear a lot is how to build a portfolio, especially if you don't have clients yet. Well, don't let I don't have clients stop you. Here's exactly what I tell my students. First, build a great site for yourself. This is the first place people see your work, and it really sets the stage. Then create sample sites for fictional businesses. You can even use these as templates for real projects later. And importantly, offer a few test projects to friends or family, but this is so important. Treat them like clients and run them through your actual step-by-step process. So yes, you can use demo projects in your portfolio. Just be transparent and focus on showing off your skills. Once you do have some client projects to include, a good case study tells a real story. Show what wasn't working, how you fixed it, and what changed for the client. Those transformations really help sell your services. So how do you find your first clients? This part can feel intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. I booked my first Squarespace clients through local networking, showing up, telling people I was a web designer, and asking them if they or anyone they knew needed a website. I even wore a t-shirt that said web designer, and I still do sometimes. I even added web designer and a link to my website in my email signature. So every email I sent, that was another person who knew I was a web designer. And finally, I collaborated with others. So think about copywriters, brand designers, marketers, or photographers you might know. Now, eventually, content marketing became my #1 lead generator. Blogging helped me build long-term visibility, and YouTube is an important part of that today. So consider those once you're a little farther down the road and have those first clients under your belt. I also want to share a few mistakes I see new designers make because I've made every single one of these myself. The first is undercharging. I used to think that lower prices would attract more clients. What actually happened was I worked more, earned less, and burned out faster. So make sure you're pricing for sustainability, not just for sales. The second is no boundaries around revisions. Scope creep is real. Be sure to set expectations with your clients early and often. Be clear about how many rounds of revisions are included and put it in writing. Speaking of, I also avoided contracts. I know contracts sound intimidating, but even a simple agreement protects both you and your client. I now use Honeybook to send mine, but you can also start with a simple document and signature request. These things may seem small, but fixing them changed how happy I was in my business, which means everything. Here's the thing that nobody tells you about starting a design business. It is not just about tools and templates. It's also about mindset. So if you're second guessing yourself, wondering, who am I to do this? You're not alone, because I felt the exact same way when I got started. But the truth is, you only need to be a few steps ahead of your client to deliver real value to them. Clients are not hiring you for perfection or an elite certificate in web design. They're hiring you for guidance, clarity, a confident process, and a website they are proud to share. So even if you aren't feeling 100% ready, I'd encourage you to jump in and just give it a try. Confidence grows from taking action, and with every project, you're going to get better at your design skills and at your client skills. So every single one of those will be a learning experience and an opportunity for you to level up what you're offering. All right, let's do a quick recap of what we covered today. First, learn the platform. I love Squarespace. Start with your own site or demo projects. Next, build your portfolio. Focus on real-looking strategic examples. They don't have to be real projects yet. Next, find your first clients, network, collaborate, and just keep sharing that you are a web designer. Also, price for sustainability, not just what feels safe to get clients. And finally, avoid common mistakes like undercharging and skipping contracts. Remember to adopt the right mindset. You're allowed to start small and grow. And remember, nobody has it all figured out in the beginning, but if you take consistent steps forward, you will be amazed at how far you can go in just a few short months. Even after all these years, I'm still learning new tricks. I think we all should keep learning and growing. And some things I rely on are free resources from Squarespace, communities like the Squarespace Circle and the Circle Forum. And if you're not a Squarespace Circle member yet, I'll drop a link below for you to join. The Code Curious membership from Will Myers is something that I use every week. I'll drop a link below to that too. And also, accountability groups and masterminds are really important to help you find other people in the same boat. This career as a web designer rewards curiosity and consistency. So try not to let perfectionism slow you down. The truth is, most of us are still figuring it out as we go, project by project. The digital world changes fast, and what worked 3 years ago may not work today. So if you are thinking about jumping in now and feel behind, don't feel behind. Just think about how much AI has changed how you work. We are all learning all of these things together every day. If you are dreaming about building a creative, sustainable business as a Squarespace designer, I want you to know you can do this. Start small, practice, learn, and don't go it alone. If you want some help getting started, I have 2 freebies for you. You can grab my free designer's toolkit. I'll drop a link below. It's packed with all my favorite tools that I use in my web design business. And don't miss the Squarespace pre-launch checklist. There's a link to that below too. And it's every step you need to check before you launch your Squarespace website. Or after, nobody's looking. And if you want more content like this on design, marketing, and building your web design business, please hit subscribe, give this video a like, or let me know in the comments what is one thing holding you back from becoming a Squarespace web designer. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.